Hey guys, so I wanted to do a story time. So this story time, I'm going to talk about something that happened to me a couple years ago. So one day I was playing video games and streaming on Twitch TV as I always do. All of a sudden I had this excruciating pain hit me like a ton of bricks. The pain was in my lower to middle back area, and it had me out of my chair. I got in my bed, I curled up in a ball, I was crying, my fist was balled up, I was just in so much pain. I had to drive myself to the hospital and I was in severe pain. I was in so much pain that I almost wanted to pull over and throw up, but I did manage to get to the hospital safely. It took them a little bit to get me in, but I did end up going in. They checked me and everything. I got in the bed. The doctor came in. They did a couple tests and stuff, and they gave me a morphine drip. So I was high on the morphine. The doctor came in, told me, hey, you're having a gallbladder attack. This is pretty normal. These things happen. Basically, we're going to get you into surgery in the morning. So I never had a surgery before, and I was terrified. I was also high, so I went onto my community Discord that I use for streaming, and I told my community, hey guys, I know we were just playing games, I know I was streaming, but I'm letting you all know that I'm in the hospital now, I have to get surgery in the morning, all this stuff is going on, and I'm in pain, blah, blah, blah. My community was extremely supportive, obviously, they always are, and they were like, I hope you feel better, if there's anything I can do, let me know, just the usual. They moved me to a more permanent room because I had to get the surgery and everything, and I got all comfy and, was like looking through my phone, just kind of going on socials and stuff, letting everyone know, like, what's up, the situation. And I live in Boise, Idaho, so this is a very, it's growing now, it's kind of a decent-sized city now, but it's still kind of small. There's only 2 hospitals in the city of Boise. Hanging out, I'm socializing, my phone and stuff, and all of a sudden this complete stranger just walks into my room, my hospital room. And I looked at him and I was all confused and I was like, hi. And he comes up and he goes, Jessica? And I was like, oh yeah, hello. And he's like, hey, it's me. I'm not going to say his name for privacy purposes, but apparently it was someone from my Twitch community who was in my Discord community. And he saw my message that I was in the hospital. He went to one hospital, which was in downtown Boise, and I wasn't there. He went to another hospital and actually found me. Apparently the people at the hospital, because they let the stranger just come straight up to my room. So I'm sitting there in the bed, I have my gown on, I'm wearing these granny panties with these baggy pants, and I was just so stressed out because I was getting the surgery done and now this complete stranger is in my room. I have been in some very terrifying situations in my life, and one of the things that I did learn from all of these experiences is do not underestimate people, because you do not know what they are capable of. Anyone is capable of anything. So you don't, for me anyway, this is just my personal experience and how I am. I don't insult people. I don't freak out, because when you do those kinds of things, it gets them more riled up and it makes them want to harm you more if their intention is to harm you. For me, I stay very calm, I act pretty normal, I try to just insinuate hey, maybe you should leave kind of thing in a very safe way, because I don't know who this guy is, I don't know anything about him. He told me his username in the Discord and stuff, and I had no idea who he was. So I was scared. I had no idea who this person was or what they were capable of, so I had to play it cool. I was like, oh, well, how's it going? And he's like, yeah, I saw you in the Discord. I just wanted to make sure you're okay and stuff and come visit with you. So he walks into the room and sits down in the chair next to me. I'm horrified at this point because I'm like, okay, I don't know this guy. He's a stranger. I'm in my gown. I have no bra on. My back is open. I'm wearing these weird hospital pants and everything. It was extremely uncomfortable. I was very, very, very uncomfortable with this guy being in my room. So he was sitting next to me and we're just kind of keeping it casual. I was trying my best not to freak out or draw too much attention to the situation, so I just grabbed the remote, put on some TV, and the whole time my heart is racing and I'm thinking, how am I going to get rid of this guy? What am I going to say to this guy? Because I have no idea what he could do to me. So, I kept kind of hinting. I was like, yeah, I need sleep. Yeah, I need to get some sleep. I'm really tired and I have surgery in the morning. I really need to get some rest and things like that. And he was like, oh, well, I understand that, I hope you feel better, blah, blah, blah. And would just change the subject. So the nurse lady came in and, she goes, hey, do you want me to bring in a cot for you? And I was like, oh, no, he won't be staying. He said, yeah, you can bring in a cot. And I looked at him and I was like, no, really, I do need sleep. I do appreciate you coming by and stuff, but I really need to rest, And she goes and gets a cot and brings it into the room. And I'm like, hey, like, you know, I'm just really not comfortable. I was trying to be as sweet as possible because you never know. And then this other nurse lady, she was being really rude to me. Like the whole time I was staying there, she was the really rude one. But there was another nurse that was really nice. And when she left, the rude nurse, I was like, man, I don't really like that nurse. And you guys, he pulled a knife out of his pocket and looked at me dead in the eye and said, do you want me to stab her? And I looked at him with like panic in my eyes. I was like, no, of course not. Like, you know, she's just a little rude and, you know, just kind of like trying to like calm him down, but also seeming like I'm not freaking out too much. It's getting really long. I'm going to make a part 2. So go check it out if you're interested. So this is part 2 of the scary encounter story time that I was talking about. The guy showed up at the hospital room. I was getting a surgery in the morning. He threatened to stab the nurse. All this crazy stuff was happening. And so basically I was trying to stay calm, trying to relax, trying not to panic too much because now I know this guy has a knife. I do not know him at all and he's completely unpredictable. I had to go to the bathroom. I've been holding it for a long time, basically since he came in there, and I just really had to go. So I sit up slowly. I'm still in extreme pain, but I am on a morphine drip still, and I start wheeling, you know, my little drip machine thing, my little IV to the bathroom. As I'm walking away from him, my back is turned. Obviously, I'm wearing a hospital gown, so my gown is open. You can see, like, my panties on, like, the, you know, outside, because they're, like, granny panties are pulled up kind of high, and the hospital pants are pulled down a little low, so you could see, like, basically everything. And I was trying my best to, like, maneuver to the bathroom. Making my way to the bathroom, I hear a picture, like a snapshot of, like your phone, how it makes that, like, you know, picture sound. I heard that twice. This guy took 2 pictures of my back and, like, my naked, like, back with, like, my panties and stuff. He took 2 pictures of me from behind. Turned around so quick, and I was like, hey, did you just take a picture of me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, can you delete those? Like, seriously, can you please delete those? And he was, like, laughing like it was a joke or something. He's like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like, and I was panicking still. My heart was still racing. I'm sitting here in pain on a morphine drip. The stranger's in my room. He has a knife in his pocket. He threatened to stab someone already. Like, I'm freaking out. I don't know how to get rid of this guy. And, you know, so I was like having a mental breakdown. I was in the bathroom. I was like breathing heavy, trying to calm myself down because I'm prone to panic attacks and anxiety anyways. I go to the bathroom. I leave the bathroom. I start wheeling my way back to the bed. I get in the bed. And I looked at him and I was like, hey, you know, I'm really tired. I need to go to bed. Like, I need rest. I have the surgeries at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, I really just I need to go to bed. And finally, he was like, okay, like, I understand. You're not trying to get rid of me, are you? And he kept, like, making little comments like that throughout the quote-unquote visit. And I was like, no, you know, like, I'm just really tired, like, you know, because I don't know, this guy could still pull his knife out and stab me. So I'm still paranoid and terrified. Eventually, he finally leaves. And, you know, I told the nurse, I was like, hey, you know, I didn't know who that guy was. That was just a random person from, like, you know, I'm a streamer. I'm like a public figure. He's just a random person that watches my streams. So can you please, like, blacklist me? Like, make sure that no one knows where I am. Like, unless, like, law enforcement or something, or even, like, a family member. But, you know, just, like, don't let anyone know. And she was like, yeah, no problem. So she, like, blacklisted me or whatever. She, like, basically, like, put me on, like, a private list where no one can find me.